Already we have studied group and some properties of group. Today we shall see the next article, that is a subgroup of a given group G. That means if you consider G dot is a group, that means G is a group with respect to binary operation dot. Already I have told you that dot is a binary operation. It is a notation to denote the binary operation. That's why it is not our usual multiplication. It may be addition, union, intersection, like that. Okay? If G dot is a group and H is any non-empty subset of G, H is any non-empty subset of G, and H itself a group with respect to same binary operation which is defined in G. That means if H dot is also a group, then this group H dot is called as a subgroup of G. Means here we have written the definition of a non-empty subset H of a group G is called a subgroup of G if under the operation in G, H itself a group of H itself is a group, not necessarily group of G. H itself is a group. Means again I am repeating, if G dot is a group, H is a non-empty subset of G, and if H itself is a group with respect to same binary operation which is defined in G, then this group H dot is called as a subgroup of G. If we consider G is a group with respect to binary operation dot, and then we know that every set is a subset of itself. Therefore, G dot is a group again. That means G dot is a subgroup of G dot. Means G is a subgroup of G itself. Okay, G is a subgroup of G itself. Again, identity element in G. Identity element in G, this singleton set is also subgroup of G. This subgroup G and E are called improper subgroups of G or trivial subgroup of G. Means every group has two subgroups, G itself and singleton set having identity element. These two subgroups are called as improper subgroups or trivial subgroups. All other subgroups except these two, all other subgroups of G are called as proper subgroups or non-trivial subgroups. Okay? For example, if you consider already we know that I plus is a group and R plus is also group. R plus is a group. Q plus is a group. I is a set of integer. Q is a set of rational number. R is a set of real numbers. What about N plus? N plus, we have seen that N plus is not a group, inverse does not exist, and identity element, that is 0, also not existing. This is not a group. But I plus is a group, Q plus is a group, R plus is a group. We know that set of integer is subset of set of rational numbers. These two are group having same binary operation. That means we can say that I plus is subgroup of Q plus. Similarly, Q plus is subgroup of R plus, or also we can write I plus is a subgroup of R plus. Same is true for multiplication binary operation. We know that set of non-zero integer is a group with respect to multiplication. Set of non-zero rational number is a group with, set of integer is a group with respect to multiplication. Here inverse does not exist, it is not a group, but Q plus is a group, R plus is a group. Yeah. But in case of if you consider the multiplication as a binary operation, then we have to consider Q0 and R0, means set of non-zero rational number and set of non-zero real numbers. That means Q0 multiplication is a subgroup of R0 multiplication and so on. Also we have seen that consider set Z is equals to 1 minus 1 I minus R. 1 minus 1 I minus R, and consider the binary operation as a multiplication. Then we know that Z multiplication is a group with identity element 1. And if you consider H is a set of two elements 1 and minus 1. Again, with respect to multiplication binary operation, H multiplication is a group. H multiplication is a group. G multiplication is also group. H multiplication is a group. But we observe that H is a subset of G. H is a subset of G, and therefore H multiplication is subgroup of G multiplication. These are the some examples of subgroups. Only you have to remember that if you consider two sets, one set is a group with respect to some given binary operation, and if other set is a subset of previous set such that with respect to same binary operation it is also a group, then the subset is called as a subgroup. Now we shall see one lemma. Lemma is that a non-empty subset H of a group G. That means if you consider G is a group, H is a non-empty subset of G. This non-empty subset H of a group G is a subgroup of G. This H is a subgroup of G if and only AB belongs to H, implies that A dot B belongs to H. And second condition, A belongs to H implies that A inverse belongs to H. Means non-empty subset H of a group G will be a subgroup of G if these two conditions are satisfied. Or conversely, if these two conditions are satisfied, then subset H of G is a group. Now, when G is called as a group with respect to some binary operation dot, G will be a group if four properties are satisfied or four conditions are satisfied. These four conditions are, first is closure property. That means A dot B belongs to G if A and B belongs to G. Means if you consider A and B are two elements of group G, then this implies A dot B also belongs to G. This is called as a closure property. Second condition is associative property. Third, existence of identity element, and fourth is existence of inverse element. Every element of the group must have inverse. If these four conditions are satisfied, then G is called as a group with respect to the given binary operation. Now here, at first we consider H is a subgroup of G. H is a subgroup of G. Then we have to prove that these two conditions are satisfied. As H is a subgroup of G, as H is a subgroup of G, that means H itself is a group with respect to same binary operation in G. As H is a group, the four conditions must be satisfied, that is closure property, associative property, existence of identity element and existence of inverse element. Taking H is a subgroup of G, we have to prove that these two conditions are satisfied. As H is a subgroup of G, H itself is a group and therefore closure property must be satisfied. That means AB belongs to H implies A dot B belongs to H, and that is our first required condition. Okay. Similarly, associative property also exists, identity element also exists, and inverse element exists. Inverse element exists means A belongs to H implies A inverse belongs to H. That means this is the required second condition. Means H is a subgroup of G, then H must be closed. That means A dot B belongs to H whenever A and B belongs to H. Also, every element of a H has a inverse, and therefore A belongs to H implies A inverse belongs to H. That means both conditions 1 and 2 are satisfied. Okay. Now we shall consider converse part. Means converse part means we shall consider that these two conditions are satisfied. H is a non-empty subset of G such that these two conditions are satisfied. Then we want to prove that H is a subgroup of G. H is a subgroup of G means we have to prove that H itself is a group with respect to same binary operation which is defined in G. That's why we have assumed that H is a subset of G satisfying given two conditions. A B belongs to H implies A dot B belongs to H, and second condition A belongs to H implies A inverse belongs to H. Now try to remember the definition of group. H will be a group if four conditions are satisfied. First is closure property. Means already closure property is there. Okay. Second is associative. Associative is not there means we have to prove that associative property. Third is existence of identity elements. Means we have to prove that E belongs to H. And fourth is every element has an inverse. By second condition we get every element of H has a inverse. Means first and fourth condition are given to you of the definition of group. Means we have to prove that identity element exists in H. Also, associative properties satisfied in H. Now consider first condition A. At first consider second. A belongs to H implies A inverse belongs to H. That means A is the element of H, A inverse is also element of H. Means for these two elements, closure property must be satisfied by 1. That means we shall consider A belongs to H instead of B. We shall consider A inverse belongs to H because here A and B are any two element of H. From 1 we know that A is the element of H. A inverse is also element of H. Means these two are elements of H. Means for these two elements, the closure property is satisfied. Means A dot B belongs to H. Means here A dot A inverse belongs to H. But as A and these A are inverses of each other, their product is the identity element. That means A dot A inverse is equals to E. Means A dot A inverse belongs to H implies E belongs to H. Okay. That means using second and first condition 1 by 1 we get identity elements belongs to H. What is remaining to prove? Associative property is also satisfied in H. But we know that H is a subgroup of G. That means every element of H belongs to G. And we know that elements of G satisfies the associative property. And hence, elements of H also satisfy the associative property. Means, as the associative law holds in G, it also holds in H because H is a subgroup of G. Means, all required 4 conditions are satisfied. This means closure property and associative property, existence of identity element, existence of inverse element. That means H is a subgroup of G. Okay? Means though this is the one lemma, there are 2 parts due to if and only conditions. Now the lemma can be stated as combining these two. Means this is written as, we shall consider this as the other lemma. Means a non-empty subset H, non-empty subset H of the group G is a subgroup of G if and only if A, B belongs to H implies A dot B inverse belongs to H. Now this is a special case of this lemma. Actually proof is not required. Means here AB belongs to H implies A dot B inverse belongs to H. Means we know this H will be subgroup of G if these 2 conditions are satisfied. That means if H is a subgroup of G, these 2 conditions must be satisfied. First condition is AB belongs to H implies A dot B belongs to H. And on the second condition, A belongs to H implies A inverse belongs to H. Similarly, B belongs to H implies B inverse belongs to H. And now in the first condition, we can replace B by B inverse because B belongs to H. This is true for every 2 elements belongs to H. Therefore, it must be true for A and B inverse belongs to H. That means A and B inverse belongs to H implies closure property. A dot B inverse belongs to H. This is a proof. A dot B inverse belongs to H. But again, remember that here dot is a binary operation. That means if you consider the group of rational numbers Q plus and H means we shall consider I plus. Means if we consider the plus as a binary operation, then this condition changes to. Try to understand. This condition changes to A belongs to H, B belongs to H. Means consider A belongs to H, B belongs to H implies here this is the inverse of B with respect to given binary operation. Dot is a given binary operation. But we are taking plus as a binary operation. And therefore inverse of B with respect to addition is its negative. And means actually it is A plus B inverse belongs to H. This binary operation is an addition. But inverse of B with respect to addition is minus B. Therefore, this condition changes. A minus B belongs to H. Okay. You have to remember that whenever binary operation is addition, H will be a subgroup of G if A minus B belongs to H. Okay.